So apparently I fucked up and I deleted all my intro videos. Tonight I'm going to be making duck breast with string beans and baked potatoes. Hope you enjoy! The ingredients that you will need is duck breast, string beans, small fingerling potatoes, and some seasoning of your preference. I use rosemary, garlic, salt, and pepper. Now, while you take another sip of your wine, you want to get your cast iron or pan to about a medium heat. At this point, you also want to make sure that you don't have anything in the pan such as water or oil, because the duck breast itself has enough fat when you fry it. So first, you're going to fry the duck breast fat side down for about 5 minutes, again at medium heat. So now that the pan is up to heat, you want to take your duck breast and just put it that side down. Oh, doesn't that sound beautiful? Not too high. And then while that cooks up for about 5 minutes, let's set that timer. If it starts sputtering too much, you want to turn it down just a little. And of course, don't forget to take a sip of your wine. With most dishes, you tend to want to move it. But with duck breast, once the fat side is down and in the pan, you do not move it. Again, the bubbling should look like this. Doesn't that look beautiful? I think it's a great time to take another sip of your red wine. So once the 5 minutes is up, you want to then take your duck breast and cook on the other side for another minute. Alright, making sure that you keep the fat there. Look at that. This is generally how it should look like after it's scored and cooked on the fat side down. It adds a nice crisp to it. Add another minute. There you go. Again, once it's on the pan, do not move it. While the duck cooks on the other side for about a minute to a minute and a half, it depends on your preference on how rare you want it. If you want it medium rare, you cook it for a minute. If you want it medium well, then you should just never cook ever again. Alright, however, once it's done, you take it off the heat and then you set it aside to let it sit. While that is happening, you then can make your deglaze for serving later with the duck fat. And I think it's time for another sip of wine. Now, the deglazing process is just putting either a wine or vinegar in the pan just to pull up the bits of meat after you cook it in the pan. I like to use that deglaze for a demi-glace, which will be served later with the main dish. Now that the pan is up to heat again, you can add in about a quarter cup of your wine. There you go. A little fire there. Alright, some marmalade. That shit in there. I would say about 2 teaspoons worth. Again, it's all based on preference. See how it's breaking up the bits. And it's cooking down. You deglaze to make a demi-glace. Once it's reduced enough where it's like a syrupy consistency, you can turn down the heat. Voila! Simple as that. I think it's time for another sip of your red wine. Now that everything is almost ready to go, the last step is cooking the string beans. You want to make sure that you don't overcook it, otherwise it turns into mush crap. Alright, the string beans should snap still after you cook it. Let's show you how. And now we want to cook the string beans. You want to make sure that your cast is on medium to medium high. Put some olive oil. I got this from ShopRite. Alright, it should start smoking once it's ready to go. Again, don't cook it for longer than a minute. Pour that in. Give it a stir. And I like to line it up. Timer is your best friend. And make sure all the string beans are making contact with the cast itself. Alright? You'll know when it's getting close to ready because it'll get vibrant green. So before it was a little hazy, now it's going to be vibrant. As a flavor preference, I like to add some garlic powder, salt and pepper. Garlic powder, extra garlic powder. Oops, not carry. Let's keep on adding that garlic powder. Alright, we're almost there. And if you look at it closely, you'll see that it'll start to brown. You see how it's getting greener? It's about ready. There we go. Turn off the heat. Take it off the heat. And that's that. Voila! This is how you make string beans. Don't overcook it, otherwise it turns into mush crab, and it's a great time to take a sip of your wine. At this point, we're gonna start plating everything. The potatoes should be ready, the demi-glace is ready, so are the string beans. Let me show you how I do it. See that the potatoes are ready. Just like that, put that on there. I'm not a pro at this, but make sure that it looks edible. String beans. You know what I almost forgot? Another sip of wine. Finally, the hard part is slicing the duck breast. You can cut it upward. I like to flip it over and then just nice carving knife. Slice right through it. Looks like it might have cooked a little bit beyond my preference. Once it's sliced, transfer. Demi-glace. Voila! And that's how you plate duck breast. Enjoy! So guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight with making duck breast, string beans, and potatoes. I hope you enjoyed the whole process, and at the same time, I hope you enjoy your wine. Now don't forget to like and subscribe somewhere down here. Always welcome comments in the comment section, and I'll see you next time.